Welcome everybody to Castle Kanota. I am Thakur Man Singh Kanota, and we are living in this fort since 6 generations. This was built by late Thakur Joravar Singh Ji of Pilwa, and we are the Rathod Champao dynasty from Marwar, Jodhpur. Right now I am going to take you to my grandfather's museum called General Amar Singh Museum, which has a collection of books, armory, textiles, paintings, and various other things, which you'll, I hope, enjoy. Over to my daughter-in-law, Vedushi Pal.
Hello, good evening. So welcome to Kanota, and we're just walking you through our home, and we are going to be shortly taking you to the museum. This is our family temple, which was made by Thakur Saab's mother and father, and we will be heading towards the museum now. So Dada, how have you designed the museum? As a period room?
This was designed as a period room on General Amar Singh Ji's life. He always lived in this portion of the castle, and he used to read here, write here, reside here. And there's a lot of feeling into it. That's why we decided this place, because it has some vibration of his in the house. Please come.
So General Amar Singh Ji was the third Thakur Saab of Kanota, and whenever he spent time in the fort over here, these were his personal rooms, his library and his bedroom. So now we will be entering the library portion, and every item that we will be showing you over here has both a sentimental and a functional value, as it was all personally owned and used by him. Every single item in this section of the museum. So welcome.
Welcome to the museum part. This is a period room on his life. We have displayed each and everything of his, like this, like the swords, like the books. Out here, his military time medals and maps and all. There's something brief about the generations out here. Amar Singh's grandfather, Amar Singh's father, himself, Amar Singh himself.
So Amar Singh Ji was one of the first Indians to be inducted in the British Indian Army as an officer. He spent most of his time away from Kanota because he was involved in nearly every military conflict that happened in the earlier part of the 20th century, which goes from the Boxer Rebellion to the First World War and the Third Anglo-Afghan War as well. So he was a true soldier's man. And these are his medals from the wars, and these are his maps from China, where he was in the Boxer Rebellion, some from Balochistan, the Northwest Frontier Province, when he was in the Third Anglo-Afghan War, and these are from France, his pocket maps.
These were the pocket maps which were being given to all the officers and the soldiers where they were deployed in the battlefield.
And all the books you see over here on every conceivable topic, be it animal husbandry, science and technology, farming, military literature, some religious textbooks, including a whole section of handwritten cookbooks over here, and cookbooks he collected from his travels abroad. All of them were personally owned and used by him. And this
is the sanad which was being given to Amar Singh Ji by the Viceroy of India,
which made him an honorary Sardar in waiting to the Viceroy of India. This was a personal distinction awarded to him.
Of Rao
Bahadur. So his full title was General Thakur Amar Singh, Rao Bahadur Amar Singh Ji of Kanota, which was signed by the Viceroy Linlithgow.
India.
And here we'll be following Thakur Saab to the sporting room. So all the photographs that you see on the walls over here were left to us by Amar Singh Ji in his personal photo albums. He was an avid photographer as well.
We call it a sports section. We call it a sports section. Like for example, this trophy they won it in Peking, on China, Peking, and these are some of his old muskets, which they sometimes used to use them when they were at home. Is sitting with his half a day shoot in Kanota. I think doing some treatment with his own personal elephant. Some of his polo trophies out here.
And this over here is a photograph of the first Jaipur polo team. This is Amar Singh Ji's father, Thakur Narayan Singh Ji.
Here is the main living room of his. You can see it's beautifully color painted. I think he was a colorful person. And beautifully, he was also God-fearing also. I think he had these paintings always in his room. That shows that he was a religious and a God-fearing person. And these are the original 89 volumes, bounded 89 volumes of his personal diary, which is the longest diary ever written.
So everything you see on the second and the third shelf over here, in all three cases, they're all personal handwritten volumes of his that he kept from 1898 until his death in 1942, missing only one day when he fell off his horse and he was unconscious. And he kept these in English.
We have displayed here one of the diary book page out here, and Baurani will just read it out, few lines out of it. Please.
This is a book called Reversing the Gaze, which was co-authored by Thakur Saab's father, the late Mohan Singh Ji Kanota, and two professors from the Chicago University, Suzanne and Lloyd Rudolph. And they worked on this book for nearly 34 years, going through 44 years worth of diaries. So we've opened out a little excerpt for you from here, which is a little note that he'd written in his diary when he was called to arms to fight in the Boxer Rebellion with the Jodhpur Lancers with Sir Pratap, who was the regent of Jodhpur at the time. So it goes, Jodhpur, Saturday, 11th August 1900. In the morning, Sarkar called for me. I hastily put on my clothes and went. He showed me the telegram which he had received about 2 in the morning. It contained the joyful news of the sanction for Sarkar to go to China and in full command of his own regiment, the Jodhpur Lancers. Major Turner will act under him. Sarkar told me to get ready. And these are some of his notebooks from when he was in his military academy. Their summer term was in Dehradun and the winter term was in Meerut, which is why they're called the Meerut College Exercise Book. And all of the books you see over here, they're all from his personal collection. He was known to read up to 60 books in a year. He was an avid reader, very, very fond of Shakespeare. You see all the volumes of Shakespeare on their entirety, and he kept very cute little traveling volumes of Shakespeare as well.
Besides reading, he was very fond of his hookah, which was he always had different kind of hookahs with him, and sometimes he used to play these games, chess and all, which are lying here. So we call him a multitasking person.
One man, many lives.
After this is the military section of his. So that was our living room. Now this is the military section out here. There's a tool where he laid a temple foundation at the cavalry ground in Jaipur. These are all the photographs from his album, which we have displayed here.
So these pertain to all the military campaigns that he ever participated in. That's him.
Photograph on the Great Wall of China out here.
After the war, they also went on a state visit to Japan. So this was a photo, a sketch of Sir Pratap, his mentor, in a Japanese newspaper.
Just read them out. This I have not a little.
I have now a little idea of what active service means. Now I feel confident that I can at least command a squadron with some credit independently if entrusted to my care. Amar Singh Ji reflects on his experiences on his way back from China aboard the SS Aitria, Thursday, 4th of July 1901.
Now we take you to another room out here because you say time is money. Would you like to go to the basement or a quick tour of the basement of his bedroom? So this is the bedroom, which normally the forts and palaces used to have a basement, because in those days there was no electricity and no air conditioners and no coolers, that kind of a facility. So they always kept a room underneath, which is always cold in the heat of Rajasthan. Out here again, before going to bed, he used to have his hookah and a day bed out here for him, his personal walking sticks. Out here is his writing table. Sometimes if you would feel not feeling too sleepy and want to read and write something, he used to use this portion for that. There is exercise dumbbells. Here is the one. And they used to do this exercise in the morning, like this, and like this. And then the another hand, like this. So these are the dumbbells. At least I think they are weighing 3-4 kgs.
And you can see over here some more photographs.
Using gold and silver on this, especially the gold plated work out here on it is like, shows that how fancy they were. They used to use this kind of dumbbells for their exercise also. There could be a simpler one also, but they use that way. I'll take you to a different side. Yeah. Like I said, from his personal, before I said that from his personal collection, I used display some photographs. So these are his old cameras and the box and binoculars, and they used to, I think, develop their black and white photographs at home. So these are the chemicals out here. There's a camera box out here. One of the old photograph of his favorite carriage when they used to travel from Jaipur to Kanota. Kanota is 8 miles east of Jaipur on the Agra highway. So this was his favorite brake carriage, 4-horse carriage. They are doing some party in the fields around the castle, somewhere at the farm. I can see some British officers also out here having, I think, high tea program. Oh, there's some beer lying here. Training of the horses for the carriage on. This is how they train the horses out here. Maharaja of Kishangarh. Madan Singh was a very fast friend in Nashik, and he is the Maharaja of Kishangarh and Amar Singh, and they joined very well together. Out there are some there lunch boxes and picnic boxes, you know, a bit of thing. Inside oven where they could bake anything on a charcoal. Now we have got fancy baking microwaves and ovens and OTG and whatnot. Simple with operation with the charcoal and wood and all. This is also charcoal and wood fire. Out here displayed is marriage dress. His marriage was a unique marriage which Bhavani will explain in detail because it's a long story I can't tell you right now, but it's a very unique wedding of that time. And there's some toiletries out here and a beautiful travel trunk of his, like a cupboard. There are different compartments and shelves and hangers and all sorts of things out here. And should we go up now? Here is Amar Singh with his nephew. And his nephew also wanted to join a military like his, we call it Babuza, like a big papa. Or in Hindi you call it Tauji. So, but he died in an air crash.
And now we'll be taking you to the other section. This section is entirely the collection of one person, that is Thakur Amar Singh Ji. The other section will be two sections with the maps and photographs and more paintings. They are a collection of the family through generations. And Jaipur is cooperating with us. We've had some really lovely weather today.
So specialized for the shop of the house, actual seat and ledgers and all nowadays. These are the bhais, and these are the revenue record, the handmade drawings of the fields, the agriculture farms and all. There are around 40 of them. I can't show you all. Like here. These are all like bullet-wise drawings. They are all handmade. These are the records of their marriage records and all. They used to be like this in the big paperwork. This is the family photograph. In between is the Narayan Singh and his sons all around. Again, Narayan Singh and his son, Narayan Singh and his son out here. This is an imperial room which we have tried to display, show something of this. These are the called trench arts which he bought from some company in London, which I'll have to tell you the name from the book.
So this company would specialize in
Specialize in the
artillery
And
shells and weapons
trench art.
into art.
Yeah.
Trench art. That's a stirrup lamp. And this room pertains to his
France.
time in France. So this was a village where he had seen his first bit of modern warfare in France when he went. And this was the village called New Chapelle, which got bombed to the ground. And he took these photographs to remember the cost of war.
There are two photographs out here with the Imperial Regiment, with the legendary Sir Pratap here, again with some British officer. Again here is Sir Pratap in the center, and somewhere here is the Amar Singh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
Here
here.
is the Amar Singh out here. This is again a historical room where we have displayed the building of Narayan Nivas with Amar Singh's younger brother called Thakur Narayan Singh. Narayan Nivas, Thakur Shivnath Singh, and Narayan Nivas was built by General Amar Singh Ji after his retirement. Whatever the money he got on his retirement, like gratuity or whatever, provident funds and all. So he made this building out of that money. I think he well utilized his money, isn't it? Nowadays you might go and have some KFC or burger. Few times they decided different drawings to make Narayan Nivas, and finally this was the final conclusion of it. They were deciding we could make this way, we could make this way, or we could make this way. But finally they decided here, and she was a very famous horse those days called Black Beauty, which was taken to London also for the World Polo Tournament in those days. And these are the miniature paintings of the Maharajas and the old heroes of our country, India, different. So I'm just giving a little glance of everything. I hope you would like them. I would like to show you the very famous the Mahabharata, the Chakravyuh of the Mahabharata. How they made this battle type scene. Prithviraj Chauhan with Sayukta out here. She is carrying her in the back. Now we take you to the armory section. So this is the arm and armor section out here. There are some old swords, there are some personal swords also, there are some service swords, like this is the service sword like British Army will do. These are ceremonial ones out here. These big ones, around I think 4.5 feet long, I think they used to use for their exercise or something, or training. There's a chain armor out here. And again, please focus on this particular sword out here. This is a particular very thick and broad blade of the sword, which was again used for the exercise purpose, but it is a long process to explain you about each and every sword, but sometime when you come to the castle, I'll explain you about each and every sword. And they are just not made for the heck of it. They have lots of things, they have a significance of it. This is a hunting howdah where minimum 2 people used to sit on it and one Mahavat out here, and they could store their ammunition out here. Like this is how it used to look. Hunting howdah out here. You see, this is how it used to look. This is how. You see 1, 2, 3, they are all hunting howdahs. A person used to sit inside. So sometimes if a tiger would jump on the elephant, they could save themselves, they would go inside and protect themselves. He was very fond of pig sticking. He wrote a lot about his pig sticking in his diary. They on top of the mounted thing out here, and the long bamboo stick, they used to balance on the horse and then chase the pigs around. Again, this is a satellite that was put on the elephant, and now this was being put on the camel. Because this is Rajasthan. So sometimes you have to use a horse in some trains, the camel is viable, somewhere the elephant is viable. So there are different type of transport or different type of equipment and transport for use for traveling and for hunting or for pleasure. Again, a different type of chain armor and the helmet and their guns and the dhal you've seen out here. These are the spears which have been fitted in front of the gun when you are lack of ammunition. You could fit it in front,
A bayonet.
bayonet, and use it till your last drop of blood. That's all. I hope you've enjoyed. All the best to everybody.
Thank you.